it on the income statement, but they're on credit, so we don't have the money in hand.
Right, there's a percentage people don't pay.
There's a lot of
There's
deadbeats.
for that.
There's deadbeats, they pay late, blah, blah, blah. Does that make sense to everybody? Make sense? So, those ratios that we just talked about, the cash coverage, the times interest earned, they're all well and good, but they're all contingent on those accounts receivable actually being converted into true cash that we can use to make these payments of expenses that we have. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, so now we've got inventory turnovers and days sales and inventory, and then we're gonna do a receivables turnover, right? This is gonna give us an indication of our accounts receivable, and in this case, inventories, how quickly we're turning them to cash. Does that make sense to everybody? How efficiently we're turning them to cash. So,
How many days are there on the shelf? That was one of the questions
Yeah.
in homework.
exactly. So, inventory turnover is the cost of goods sold, right, divided by our inventory. And we end up with the sign of the devil here, 6.66. That means that for every $1 of inventory, we've got 6.66 times in cost of goods sold in there. I really think it's hard to think about that number as an inventory turnover. It says that we're basically turning our inventory over almost 7 times per year.
So,
Almost $7 worth of cost of goods. Right,
you can
so,
turn all of your inventory 7 times.
yeah,
Re-up and,
we will be turning our inventory over almost 7 times per year. In other words, replenishing the inventory 7 times per year. Now, for me, intuitively, I don't like thinking of it that way. I like thinking of it better in this, what we call days sales and inventory. I like to call this the average age of our inventory, all right? And basically, this tells me how long my inventory is sitting on the shelf. So I'm gonna do a little conversion here. Day sales and inventory, or I like to call it average age of inventory, is just 365, and that's because there's 365 days in a year, divided by our inventory turnover, which we just computed at 6.66. We plug in 365 divided by 6.66, we get 55 days. Every 55 days, that inventory that we have at time period 0 is completely sold, all right? And we start anew, so it replenishes.
is that LIFO or FIFO?
What's that?
LIFO or FIFO, last in, first out?
Yep,
back-
yep.
well,
All right, so approximately every 2 months, we clear our shelf, right? Our inventories are completely sold off, we clear our shelf, and we'll do that almost 7 times per year. Just about every 2 months. That's what we're operating at here. All right, is that important to us?
Yes.
Yes, because if this number declines, then those ratios that we were talking about earlier, like our times interest earned and our cash ratios, all of a sudden, if it's just not gonna get it. Our earnings, even though we've made a sale, we don't have the cash. And this is telling us a little bit about how quickly we can anticipate getting the cash from all those inventories sitting on our shelf, and the next one is going to be about converting accounts receivables into sales. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
How we're following here about digging down into how able are we really to make our payments? Okay. All right. Next one is accounts receivable, as I promised. This is receivables turnover.